Hello, my name is Elizabeth Press, and I am founder of D3M Labs. And after more than 2 decades of being in Europe, mostly in Germany, I got my German citizenship. So I am now officially a German. But really, 20 years, 2 decades of living in Europe, mostly Germany as a foreigner, I have a lot I feel needs to be improved in many aspects, but one really major aspect is diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, so DEI initiatives. I definitely think that Germany and many other countries need to create DEI initiatives that are actually impactful and actually driving diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so Varsha and Anil Kumar, so thank you very much for joining me. Can you maybe introduce yourself and why you're so passionate about this topic?
Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for having me here and also for starting this video series. I think this would be very interesting and impactful. A little bit about myself. I am originally from Bangalore, India, and I grew up in India. And then I moved to the US where I lived there close to 4.5 years. And then in 2019, I moved to Germany. So I've been living in Germany for close to 6 years now. And I work in engineering leadership. And one of the core topics of my mission is the intersection of AI, neuroscience, and policy. And I think DEI is, I would say, a very hot topic or a very important topic when it comes to policy. And I think it is still kind of relevant in a way when it comes to this rapid AI evolution that is happening right now. And that's why I'm also really passionate about contributing to this topic and sharing some of my personal stories, just getting my voice heard on this topic, I would say. Yes.
I've seen in my community, especially in, maybe the past 5 years, the amount of foreigners that were being brought into Berlin to drive this Corona hype. The companies were hiring, they couldn't get enough people, and they were looking for people from all over the world. And when this bust happened, these people got fired en masse. And there have been reports about who got fired and who did not get fired, and people could read the news about that stuff. But who gets the stability, who doesn't get the stability, who gets to buy the house because they are stable, and who should be happy that they had a nice ride in the scene.
Whoever is coming into your society, into your country, of course they are gaining a lot in a way, like long term, but also it is not just that they are gaining a lot, that you are gaining as a society an immense value. And it is also your privilege as a society to have these people that they chose your country to come into to pursue their futures because they saw a promise in your country, right?
This brings me to my next point, and I think that a lot of DEI initiatives fail because they are started by a person who has one aspect of diversity that they want to push. And they focus on that aspect that is important to them rather than building an inclusive workplace. And I say very loudly that diversity is not only about ethnic background or gender or whatever, that diversity includes ableism, neurodiversity, health, economic background, the stage of your life, your age, and that could also include, German white Christian men. I think DEI initiatives need to focus on, as you said, empathy and using empathy to create an inclusive atmosphere rather than pushing the agenda of one specific identity. Because we're all having multiple identities and we all are important and we all need to belong. And that's not just for Germany.
There is some sort of a pressure to implement this DEI for companies to be more competitive and to be relevant. And with this, companies sometimes perhaps rush into implementing DEI in wrong ways, and I think that is wherein the issue lies. And they need to really understand that this is a nuanced topic, and they need to embrace to make sure that it is also tied into the company culture, and it is tied into the company culture being lived and not just something which stays on paper. We always embrace like these software engineering architectures, how it is rapidly evolving and there's so much nuance there, and we have detailed discussions on these topics. We bring in experts, and then when it comes to DEI, we just see it as something which is like an add-on to comply.
Yes, we talk a lot about how AI or cybersecurity or other things are enabling competitive advantages in Germany. And DEI can be a competitive advantage for Germany if Germany gets it right. And there's a lot that Germany can do. And the past does not predict the future, right? Germany has an opportunity here to be an amazing open immigrant country, produces amazing things. So I'm really excited to be a citizen here. And I'm really excited to see other people joining this club of German citizens and doing great things in this country. I'm optimistic.